So in this video, I'm going to share with you what I think is the best location to base your trip out of Rome. And if you're planning a trip to Rome, that's a big decision you're going to have to make. And in this video, I'm going to share what I think is the best place, why it's the best place. I mean, there are a lot of great places. This is just my opinion, but stick with me here. We're going to explore the city of Rome. I'm going to show you all the sites that are within walking distance of this location. Now, if you've been to Rome, you might be wondering, what location am I talking about? And first off, let's get an orientation of the city of Rome. And this is kind of this is Google Maps, and this is an overview of kind of the downtown or the central area of Rome. Over here, you can see this is the train station right here, and that's where you're going to most likely be entering or exiting the city of Rome from. And just below that, you've got the Coliseum right here, and then all the Roman Forum right down here, and just below that is the Circus Maximus. So if we go over this direction, this big building here, we're going to look a little closer in a minute here, but this is the Victor Emmanuel Monument, and this is Tiber Island, and just on this side of the river is Trastevere. This whole area out here, and this whole area up in this direction is Trastevere, and that's where basically they have some of the best food. The streets are fun to walk. They have nightlife. I mean, if you're into that and you want to, go over there even at 10, 11, or 12 at night, there's still plenty to do over there in Trastevere late at night. Over here, we've got the Piazza Navona. See right down there, that big piazza. It's beautiful. You recognize this funny-looking building right here with the big hole in the top? That's the Pantheon. And then you've got Campo Dei Fiori down here. You got the Jewish ghetto over here. We're going to look at this a little bit more close, but I just kind of want to give you a quick overview. And just on this side, this is the St. Peter's, the Vatican City right here. Okay? So the area that I think is the best area to base your trip out of Rome is right down here I did a video about this not too long ago, and I called it the Torre Argentina area, and I'm expanding this video a bit because I spent a bit more time over here, and we're going to explore a little bit more of the advantages of being over in this area. But anyway, it's the Campo Dei Fiori area, which is the actual Campo Dei Fiori is right here, right? So the area I'm talking about extends to about right back in this direction along the river here to over slightly into the Jewish ghetto area and over to this street here. So this is like the epicenter of Rome. And when you think of like the eye of the hurricane, when you think of a hurricane, it's pretty chaotic outside, but in the middle, it's actually fairly calm. And that's kind of how this is. There's lots of tourism and activities and people, but this area, for whatever reason, it just seems to be fairly calm. Not that there's no tourists there, not, this, for example, this market, this is a small little market here, and it's pretty chaotic. I mean, it's kind of geared towards tourists. It started out as just fruits and vegetables and flowers, and now it's kind of expanded to souvenirs and all kinds of stuff. It's kind of a touristy market, but it's worth going to. But it's not something, even if you're in this area, it's not something that you have to go to every day. And in fact, it shuts down around 5 p.m. or something like that, 4 or 5 p.m. And then it becomes a beautiful piazza in the evening. A lot of nice little restaurants over there, and we're going to look at those a little bit more. But down here, in this area, I find it kind of like refreshing. It's fun to come home at night. It's fun to wake up in the morning. There's not a lot of tourists running all over all the streets, but as you come up, across this busy street here and into these other neighborhoods, it can start, to feel. You'll start to see the crowds and the tourism. And even down here in Trastevere, it can get pretty busy down in this district here. Don't get me wrong. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to look a little bit at this area, and then I'm going to show you some of the sites that you can see from here. Let me show you real quick on this map. Okay, this is Google Map, and this is kind of a zoom in point of the Piazza Campo Dei Fiori area. And then these are all the major sites. You got the Vatican. You've got, over here in Trastevere, you've got Circus Maximus. Again, you've got the Roman Forum, the Coliseum, and a lot of the other sites here. Trevi Fountain up here, Spanish Steps up here. And as you can see, this area, I would say right around here, all this area, all these sites are fairly easily walkable from Campo Dei Fiori. You're talking about about a 10-minute walk to down here, and it'd be about the same if you take that same circumference around this way. So most of these sites in this general area are about a 10-minute walk. Some of the sites you can still walk to. They're going to take you a little longer. Maybe out to the Vatican is probably closer to a 20-minute, maybe 25 at the most minute walk to the Vatican, to the castle, maybe 20 minutes. Up here to Spanish Steps, it's going to be like 20 minutes. But what's nice there is there's so many things that are within walking distance that you're not reliant upon buses, taxis, or metro. The disadvantage of me down here, there really isn't a close metro station near here. You're going to be walking, you're going to be using a taxi, or you're going to be using the bus. And that is probably the disadvantage of being in this area. The nearest metro station from here is probably at Circus Maximus, but it's way down on this end of Circus Maximus. And then maybe Spanish Steps. That might be your other one up here. And then so they're a little bit far for the metro, and I guess that would be the disadvantage. But the buses run frequently in here. And let's go back to the other map, and we'll kind of dive into this a bit more. So from here, what you're going to do, well, let's first look at some of these great things that are in here. And I'm going to switch this a little bit in Attila here, give it a little more interesting view. But from here, look, for example, right down in this piazza, sorry, not in this piazza, right here in this piazza, there is what they call a forno. A forno is a big oven. It's a wood-fired oven that they use to make pastries and pizzas and breads, all kinds of things that are cooked in the oven. And there is one of the most famous fornos in this area. There's two of them in there. Here's one of the most famous. It's called Forno. I guess it's Campo De Fiori. I'm not exactly sure the name, but anyway, it's located right down here. Let's go take a look at that. See, it says Forno there. Let's take a look. Okay, what's nice there is they make what they call pizza bianca, or white pizza. It's just basically pizza with no pizza sauce, nothing on it. And right next to this place where they make the pizza, they have a sandwich shop that they make it's owned by the same company. It's the same bread. They make sandwich shop right here, and let me tell you, those sandwiches in there are awesome. I was there 4 or 5 times. Each time I get a different sandwich, and they charge right around. They're not that expensive. They're around €4 for a sandwich, and they're pretty good size. I don't know if you can sell, but they're pretty good size. And about maybe the 4th or 5th time I was there, it was not that busy. Usually pretty busy, but it wasn't that busy. And the lady says, "Would you like your sandwich heated up?" And I didn't even know that was an option. And so I said, "Yeah, heat that up." So when I ate that heated up, I mean, it was actually even better. I thought it was great when it was cold, but when it was heated up, it was really, really good. And so when you're in this thing, sometimes it's busy. You need to ask them, "Hey, can you heat that up for me?" It takes 30 seconds or so for them to heat it up. They have I think it's like a little toaster oven or something. They stick it in, and maybe it's a little pizza oven. I'm not sure what they're sticking it in. It's not a microwave, but they stick it in, heat it up, and it just makes that sandwich just next level. So be sure to ask them to heat that up if you go there. Also, this is Campo Dei Fiori, right? Let's look at this here. Let me see if I can get this angle right. Right down here. Let's go drive and take a look. There's a pizzeria it's a Napoli-style pizza, and I've tried. I mean, I was doing where I was eating pizza 30 days, and I tried different pizzeria every day. And this wasn't my favorite pizzeria, but it was really, really good. And so being so close, and the atmosphere in here, and it's a really nice restaurant. You can't go wrong. It's a little pizzeria. Let's go take a look at that. Okay, so pizza, I mean, definitely it's worth going to, and so over on this corner, there's a gelato that I thought was fantastic. Atmosphere is good. The flavors were outstanding. If you've heard of one called Frigidarium, that's probably my favorite. It's over by Piazza Navona. It's from here. It's maybe a 10-minute walk. But being in this piazza, it's still one of the best gelaterias. The only difference I say is that it's a little bit more expensive than Frigidarium, but you know, it's still a phenomenal place, and it's right here. Let's take a look at that one. So those are just some of the things that are right here near Campo Dei Fiori. Over here, just on this backside, let's walk over here. Right back in here, there are two pizzerias. One's Alice. I think it's hard for me to tell exactly where it is. I think it's right here in this piazza here. So there's a place called Alice Pizza, which was good, but I don't think it's great. And then there's one called Corner Pizza. I think this is the building right here, Corner Pizza. Let's go down and take a look at that. Just had my first piece, and it was actually really, really good. So Corner Pizza was awesome. I mean, I tried both of them, and I thought Corner was better than Alice, and it was less expensive. So it's a win-win there. But those are just some of the things. One other thing I want to show. Okay, here's an important thing while you're in this area, and it's great being in this area. Is let me back up here a little bit. Okay, just down this street. I think it's on this one right. Yeah, it's right in here. There's another Forno place called Rochelle, I think. I think it's Rochello or Rochelle. I think it's called Rochelle. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly. I think it's called Rochelle. I'll show you a picture of it on a video, and you're going to see it. But that place, I mean, as far as presentation, and it has a lot. I thought it had better sweets and better pastries than the other Forno did, and the presentation's phenomenal. And if you're fortunate enough, it's just right down this street, and we'll take a quick look at that. So what's nice about this area is outside of this piazza, which is a little bit chaotic, it's pretty quiet. And even when you're walking around in these streets, they're very interesting to walk around. When I say quiet, it's not like it's loaded with tourists. There's still plenty of pizzerias, restaurants, gelaterias, and different shops to go into and explore. All throughout here are very fun streets to walk around without the crowds. And even on this side, it's great. So anywhere up in here, it's just so nice, and it's peaceful, and yet you're in the center of so much. So if you wanted to catch a bus, there's a couple of ways to do that. You can come out here to this piazza here. This is Torre Argentina. This is where Julius Caesar was murdered. Oh yeah, right here. Let me show you. This is one of my favorite pizzerias. It's Italio style, which is basically they cut it to the size you want. But right here, there's a place called Pizza Florida. Can't forget about that one. Now this of the Italio style pizza, this is my favorite one in all of Rome. Okay. Now, this is Torre Argentina. So Torre Argentina, they have buses coming by here. Pretty much every 4 or 5 minutes there's a bus coming through here heading towards the Vatican or heading towards the station. So it's very easy to catch a bus here. And then if you want to head out towards other areas, you just kind of have to I use Google Maps, and it just tells you on the Google Maps, it tells you, where to go to catch the bus, which bus to get on, and it's pretty easy. You don't need an app. Google Maps tends to work pretty good. So I use that. But another area you can get buses to, if you're staying in this area we were talking about, in the Campo Dei Fiori, which is right here. This big long road here. There we go. Corso Vittorio Emanuele. Okay. So on this street here, you can catch buses heading again towards the Vatican, or heading out toward back towards the Termini train station and other locations. So getting a bus here is very easy. And then also, if you happen to be standing this side, you can catch buses on either side of the river. I suggest you go to this section, but you can also catch buses over here to easily head to other locations within Rome. So getting transportation is very easy. There's also taxi stations that you can go to. There's taxi station certainly right here in the Torre Argentina area that we were looking at, which again is right over here. There's a taxi station. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple, like maybe a taxi station here and another one up over here and over here. So there are quite a bit of taxis in the area, so it's not hard to find a taxi. But one of the great things about staying in this area is, while there are good restaurants here in the Campo Dei Fiori area, my favorite restaurants in Rome are down here across the river in Trastevere. And there's a little footbridge right here that connects the two. And so if you're staying over here, to walk down the street, across the bridge, and into Trastevere is less than 10 minutes. Depending where you're going in here, there are all kinds of great restaurants. Literally more than 100 restaurants, and you really can't go wrong. There, you can look on Google reviews. There are a ton of great restaurants. The restaurants are catering towards Romans. Now there are tourists in the area. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of them, but if you're there in like December or January when it's pretty much void of tourism, there's still a lot of Italians here in this area, all enjoying the nightlife, enjoying the restaurants and stuff in here. So that's what I like staying in this area, because I can access all of that stuff so easily. Now let's look at some of the other advantages of going from here. So let's say I'm staying down here and I want to go up to the Pantheon. Okay, let's look at the Pantheon. That's how close it is. Depending on where I'm staying down here, it's going to take me less than 10 minutes to walk up to the Pantheon, and that's this building right here. Let's go down and take a look. Okay, the Pantheon, as you can see, is just adjacent to Piazza Navona, and it's probably less than 300 meters. 5-minute walk, you can be over to Piazza Navona right down here. Let's take a look. Starting to get the idea. A lot of things are very close to the Campo Dei Fiori area. So let's go back over here. Hold on a minute. So from there, another great place to go visit while you're down here in the Campo Dei Fiori area is you just take this road that runs right along. It runs right across the street here and over into the Jewish ghetto. And the Jewish ghetto is an awesome place to come visit, especially on, well, any day of the week, except Saturday mornings. It's kind of slow because that's their Sabbath. But if you come over here, you got lots of nice restaurants, you got some cool bakeries, and some of the best ruins in all of Rome. Let's take a look at those. They're right down here. Let's say you want to go from here, you want to go to the Coliseum. Probably the best way to go to the Coliseum, depends how you're doing it, is to take a bus catching out here heading towards the Coliseum. That would be one way of doing it. If you wanted to walk, I suggest it's kind of a longer walk, because that one's you can walk it, but it's probably best to catch a bus over here, or you can catch right here at the Torre Argentina. There's a rail system that runs this way, so you can catch it right down here. You can catch on the, I think it's the number 8 tram, and it takes you right to Victor Emmanuel and drops you off over here. You can take this road here and walk right along the Forum up this way to the Coliseum. If you don't want to walk that far, they are building a Line C to the metro that will be open in 2025. That this leg between here to here, and this looks close, but it's about probably close to 800-900 meters, close to a kilometer away. But this walk here is really pleasant. There's lots of vendors out there. There's lots of street street performers that are right here in this area, and a lot of fun to walk down to. So that's very, very pleasant, and I highly recommend you do that. Now, this here is Victor Emmanuel Monument. This isn't far at all from where you're at. It's maybe less than a 15-minute walk to the Victor Emmanuel Monument. And while you're here, you can see they're right in 2024. There's a lot of construction going on because of the new metro. So it's a little bit chaotic in this square right now. But right behind it, there's a really cool piazza called the Campidoglio. It's designed by Michelangelo. And you get there two ways. You can go these back way through the stairs, right up this little, right through here. Or you can walk around this way, this other side of the piazza, and there is a stairway here. They're heading, you see, look down there. And it heads right into the piazza, up these stairs here into this piazza. Let's take a quick look at that. Okay, so while you're there, there is one of the best lookouts for the Roman Forum. It's right up over here. There's two sides you can go to. You can go right through this walkway right through here, and right outside there's a little ledge, a perch right here, an elevated view that you can take a look at. And you can see the Roman Forum, the Coliseum. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so from there, you can also walk out this opposite side, and you can actually get some, you can walk down near the Forum. There's another lookout right here, and then as you walk down, there's stairways and stuff, and it drops on down into here, and then you can walk past some of these ruins, and it gets down towards, you know, ground level there. But some really cool stuff to take a look at while you're in that area. Let's go back here and see some other things that you can see from the Campo Dei Fiori area. So here we go back to this Campo Dei Fiori. Here we are. Okay, let's say we want to go to Trevi's Fountain. Now, best way to do that is maybe while you're going out, go to the Piazza Navona, then go to the Pantheon, and then from the Pantheon, it's not all that much further to Trevi's Fountain. It's way up here. If you're going to go directly to the Trevi's Fountain, and it's going to take you probably close to 20-minute walk from Campo Dei Fiori area, a little bit of a walk, but it's right here, and we'll go down and take a real quick look at that. Okay, so from there, let's say you want to go to the Spanish Steps right over here. Let's see. Yeah, right here, where this is the Spanish Steps right here. Let's go take a look. So one thing nice about being at the Spanish Steps is if you make your way over here, there is a metro station. You just walk down this little aisle here, metro, or if you're on top, you can walk down some stairs or an elevator. And you hit the metro. Now from there, you can go to two different good locations. From the Spanish Steps, you can head over to the Piazza del Popolo, which then from there, it's a little station right here, Flamino, and then you can go into the Villa Borghese. And at Villa Borghese, it's a big park, but what's nice is they have these little like carts, like bike carts, like 4-person carts. You can get bigger ones, or 2-people carts, or 4-people carts, and you can pedal around the park. I mean, it's not too expensive. It's cost you, 10 or 15 euro to rent one. They also have little like horse and buggy rides if you want to do that. It's a little more expensive, or you can have somebody give you a little tour of it. I find it better just to rent those little self-pedal little things they have there, and they're a lot of fun. And you can kind of tour all around through here, check out the different sites of the park. There's museums in here, and it's pretty impressive. So that's a nice ride. And plus, up here, you do get a really cool view. It's an elevated view right here at this thing here. And every time I've been there, there's been a street performer. All right, we're back here. Now I've kind of gone through most of the sites, not all of them, but a lot of the sites you can access pretty easily from Campo Dei Fiori. Let's readjust this here. Again, we're here. So let's think of the other things. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, if you're down here at the Coliseum, you may want to take the metro, but you can take a metro from here down to Circus Maximus, which this metro station drops you out right here, and you can walk over to Circus Maximus. This is where they used to have the chariot races. And it's about 700 meters across, so it's a big stretch of, you can walk in this, so it's kind of cool. You can walk down here and just kind of, use your imagination what it used to look like. Most of it's been torn down. There are a few bleachers up in this area. And then over here, if you want to get a bicycle, rent a bike, there's a bike shop right here called Easy Bike Rental Roma. I don't know exactly where it's at. It's one of these buildings right here. But they can get you a bike for not that much, like less than 20 euros to get a bike to go ride around, and they can give you some ideas of where to go if you want. So from there, you can walk back to Campo Dei Fiori, and the way you would do that is you'd probably just cross the thing and walk down Trastevere and check out the streets here, and then cut across this bridge here back into Campo Dei Fiori area. It's not super close. It'll probably take you 20 minutes or so to walk there. But again, it's not, you're going to do a lot of walking in Rome, just face it. Rome is a city for walking. what's nice about walking over a taxi, if you're in a taxi, you get a certain perspective of Rome, but not really. I mean, you're going past things so fast. If you see something, you really can't stop and enjoy it. Walking allows you to, just walk into restaurants or walk into boutiques or check out, something that catches your attention, go into a church that you may want to check out. It's so much funner and nicer to be able to just kind of take your time as you're walking through the streets, checking out certain sites, but along the way, just exploring. And that's what's great about Rome. So to wrap it up, I think I've laid out a pretty good reason why Campo Dei Fiori, Torre Argentina area is so central to so many things. And there are other great areas. You can stay up in here in Piazza Navona area. It's also very fun to walk the streets. I think the food is not quite as good in general. There are some great places up here, don't get me wrong. And I think in general it's a little bit more expensive. But having said that, it's still a great area to stay. The reason I like staying down here a little bit better is because I still can go up here and visit these areas, and it's just a little bit closer for me to drop down here into Trastevere and to enjoy, restaurants down in this section. So I find that better. And if I don't want to walk, I can, like I said, there's a tram. I can hop on a tram from here, and it'll take you right down into Trastevere, depending where you want to get off. The first stop is right here. The next stop is just right down here near a grocery store. So you can access this stuff fairly easy. And that's why I stay there mainly, and why I enjoy staying there. So again, hopefully you like this video. If you're new to my channel, I'd appreciate you subscribing. My channel is all about Rome, how to make your trip better to Rome, my experiences in Rome. Some of it's very helpful, some of it's very silly or whatever, but I'm trying to put more and more videos together that will help you make the most of Rome on your next trip, your first trip, your 10th trip, whatever it might be. Anyway, please like this video. You got 2 thumbs. Now use your finger and click like. How's that? And again, thanks for watching. Have a great one.